American running and a moving testimony to the spirit of high school athletics. The Footlocker Cross Country Championships, with its 4 regional qualifying races throughout the country leading to today's final, is the one true national high school championship in any sport which is determined out on the playing field. Today, the future of American distance running will be in its full wondrous display.
Well, 9,000 runners began the process at the regional finals a couple of weeks ago, and now we have the best 32 girls and 33 boys, and we'll explain the boys 33 a little bit later on. We begin with the girls, and we've got 4 regional champions with us, but also the defending national champion, who is Erin Sullivan out of Jericho, Vermont, and yet she was only 6th in her regional final 2 weeks ago.
Well, girls tend to develop younger than boys do, and so it's not uncommon to see an underclassman do very well here. An example of that would be Sarah Bay, who won the Western Regional just last week. She's only a sophomore, but she's going to be out there leading the ladies today.
All right, it's flat and fast, you would think, here in Florida, where there are very few hills, but the officials have made this as stern a test as they can on this Oak Trail golf course. And you ran it yesterday. How is it?
You know, I went out on the course, and it's spongy. It takes some of the momentum away from you, so I still think it's going to be a strength runner's course. There's enough turns to take any momentum that you may acquire, and enough little rolling bumps to kind of fatigue you. So it's going to come down to who is the strongest athlete out there.
All 4 of our regional champions are undefeated this cross-country season. Lindsay Gay from the Midwest, in her first year as a runner, was 3rd place last year in the Ohio State Tennis Tournament. 32 of the best in the nation. Ed, 71 degrees, 85% humidity. If the race was yesterday, it would have been a lot cooler. The weather is a major factor.
Usually if the spectators are comfortable, it's a little too warm for the runners. And as the day progresses, it's going to get even worse. Especially the people coming from the west, the Midwest, the Northeast. They're probably running in temperatures about 30 degrees warmer than what they're used to. So the event will actually, it's a strength event, and it'll also become an event of heat management.
Cross country is always about going out hard and getting clear running room. Number 21, Liz Autry, the Southern Region champion, and number 16, the defending national champion, Erin Sullivan, who's a known strong front runner, have gone to the front very quickly. And Liz Autry actually has one of her superstitions is wearing 2 French braid pigtails in her hair for every race.
That's number 36, Catherine Hartman from the Midwest, leading. The colors to watch: red is Midwest, black Northeast, blue West, and green the South.
I like to think of myself as a patient runner. I watch how the race is going. I usually like to go around the 1.5 mile, 2 mile, make a good move. But if it happens at the end, I'm fine with that. If in the beginning I need to make a move, I'm fine with that.
Ed, so many of these runners come from such different backgrounds. Many of them are undefeated until they get to the regional level. Then there's only 4 undefeated girls in this race now, the regional winners. But some of them have their state titles many weeks ago. Other ones are coming in like the West just 2 weeks ago. They're not all on the same page.
An example of that would be Catherine Hartman leading the field right now. She was 6th at the Midwest Regional. But, these kids are coming in. Some of them had their state meet 2 months ago and maybe weren't exactly at a peak and have continued that peak and are running the best they have all year, while others are, way overcooked at this point in the season and ready for the thing to end.
The 2-loop course here at Walt Disney World Resort has been changed slightly from last year. The officials have added many more twists and turns in lieu of any hills. This will not be a rhythm runner's course.
And some people have thought that maybe the Western Regional runners will be at a slight disadvantage because their regional was actually last week on a very hilly course as opposed to the other regionals, which were 2 weeks ago.
Yes, now there's Kate Guiney out of Middletown South High School in New Jersey, the New Jersey State Cross Country champion, who has a twin sister who's a field hockey player. Both will be heading to Boston College later on, and they're moving up on our leader, Hartman. So it is Hartman, Kate Guiney, and our defending champion, Erin Sullivan. The 1998 Footlocker Cross Country Championships are brought to you by Footlocker and by the Suzuki Rock and Roll Marathon. Welcome back to the 1998 Footlocker Cross Country Championships at Walt Disney World Resort, Florida. We have 3 women who have separated themselves from this national caliber field. Catherine Hartman in the front, number 36 from the Midwest. Kate Guiney from New Jersey in second place, and our defending national titleist, Erin Sullivan from Jericho, Vermont. And any surprise that they've made this separation?
Well, there's not a surprise to see a breakaway group of runners. We often see that, but what is surprising is we do not see one regional winner in that breakaway group.
Now, Lindsay Gay from Ohio, the Midwest champion, she was sick coming in and almost didn't come to these championships, so she's the only one that's a bit of a surprise. Jillian Mastroianni from Sayville, New York, the Northeast champion, she was focusing, they said, on this competition throughout the year, so that's a surprise. And Sarah Bay out of the West Regional, well, she has also been somebody who comes from behind traditionally in her races.
And Bay had that tough race just last week as well. But the race is early. They went through the first mile at 5:32, which is a very honest pace, a little quick. You know, you would think that I'd probably average around 5:40 miles. But to go out fast in these high school events is not unusual at all.
Okay, now they're coming back through the crowd, passing that 1 mile mark for the first time, and they're going to get a lift from these people. Here's a look at what this course was last year. It was biblical. They were swimming championships as much as running championships. Breaking away at the 1.5 miles and pulling out to victory in a surprise was the junior Erin Sullivan. But just 2 weeks ago at the Northeast Regional, here was this national champion wearing number 1, finishing only in 6th place.
I was pretty dehydrated. Like, my electrolytes were pretty messed up, and I ended up getting sick like before and after, and just like I was just fighting to physically keep going at that point, so I was just like relieved to qualify.
So maybe that finish though is lessened the pressure here.
Yeah, it definitely does. Like, already, I mean, I feel it. Like, I don't feel like people are talking like, oh, there's a winner, you know? Like, I'm just, like, here to just do it.
Well, there must be at least 24 national college coaches in this audience to take a look at this talent, Ed.
Hey, it's a real meat market out there. You see guys trying to restock the shelves, and this is the perfect place to come to restock those shelves. We have the best talent, bar none, in the country running here, the best 32 female high school athletes.
Well, right now it looks like Catherine Hartman from the Midwest is starting to drift a little bit, and it's still Erin Sullivan applying the pressure along with Kate Guiney. I had dinner with Kate's parents, and they were saying that the Northeast kids are a little burned out. They peak for their state meets and then hope to hang on for the regionals, and 2 weeks later the nationals. But right now, both our leaders are from the Northeast.
And Erin Sullivan sure doesn't look burnt out at this point. You know, she bided her time that first mile, and now it looks like it's hammer time as she is opening up a slight gap here.
Erin is looking to be just the 3rd girl to win 2 Footlocker national titles. Erin Kehoe did it in 85 and 86, and Melody Fairchild in 89 and 90. But there's a further connection. Melody and Erin met at a running camp this summer, and then just this week, Melody called Erin to give her words of encouragement, because when she was going for her 2nd straight title in 1990, Lynn Jennings called her.
Well, whatever she said to her, I'd like to have that message, because it appears to be working right now as Erin is just lengthening that lead right now. And as we see the chase pack, they're going to really have to dig down to catch her.
What they have to hope is that Erin went out too fast like she did at the regionals and then faded back to 6th place. On a hot, humid day like this, anything's still possible. We just saw the Western leader go by well back in the middle of the pack, and Lindsay Gay, the Midwest champion, again having a bad day because of her illness coming in.
I think, like, a lot of these girls are going to go out pretty hard, so I'm just going to run my own race, and, I mean, strategically, I'll just, like, I'm going to go out hard and, like, see who can stay with me, but not too hard so that I have nothing left. But on a course like this, I think you can afford to a little bit just because it's a little flatter.
Wow, and that lead has lengthened even more, and they're through 2 miles in 11:20. Tony, that means they've slowed down and run that 2nd mile in 5:48. First mile 5:32, 2nd mile 5:48.
Now moving up, our Western Division champion and runner-up. On the inside, the blonde Lauren Fleshman, 2nd in the West. And next to her, Sarah Bay, the Western champion, who's been hot all year. Lauren's only loss came to Sarah in those regionals.
And Sarah Bay was 10th at Nationals just last year as a freshman, and she is running a great race as a sophomore.
Well, they have obviously decided, like they have in previous races, to go out fairly gently and really storm through. And they are moving very fast right now and have one another to work against.
And it helps when you have a teammate to roll with when you're coming from behind. And this is certainly Sarah's style.
Oh, I'm definitely a sit and kick one. I start out, and I probably, if I do take over the lead in races, it's not till like the 1.5 miles or so.
where Aaron Sullivan does not show the signs of wear and tear that a leader falling apart would show. And they've moved into the later stages of this race. Will she hold on? We'll see shortly. 17-year-old 12th grader Aaron Sullivan out of Mount Mansfield Union High School in Jericho, Vermont, in the final strides of her history-making performance in Orlando, Florida. As she is going to join Erin Kehoe and Melody Fairchild as only the third girl to win 2 straight national Footlocker cross-country titles. And she looks as fresh at the finish as she did when she took the lead at the 1.5 mile mark. Her time, 17 minutes, 33 seconds.
And Lauren Fleischman and Sarah Bay charging hard from the west. Lauren just having a little bit extra at the end, and Sarah Bay collapsing. What an effort for her. A hard regional just last week.
And this is what makes this Footlocker cross-country championship so special. The effort that these kids produce on a consistent level. Catherine Hartman coming home in 5th place. Our early leader hung tough.
The West came back very strong, winning the team title. And hey, we've got a happy Sullivan family here getting congratulations all around. What a great day for her.
Well, except for Sarah Bay in 3rd place, a tough day for our regional champions. Jillian Mastroianni in 14th, Liz Autry from the South in 21st, and Lindsay Gay from the Midwest in 24th. But a tremendous performance by Aaron Sullivan, copping that 2nd national title after the only loss in the last 1.5 years just 2 weeks ago.
It's awesome. I mean, I'm so excited just because it's not a fluke. You know, like last year was so quick, and like I only ran 10 races, and now I'm just happy that I was able to maintain it and stay healthy and keep going.
Well, there's a look with a lot of emotion in it on the face of Sarah Bay. Disappointment, relief, anxiety, but the West really did the job out there from a team standpoint.
Yeah, and again, low score wins in cross country. The West scored 5 people in the top 10, nobody outside the top 20.
We did an awesome job. I'm really proud of us. I mean, everybody stepped up to the challenge, and we had a lot of new people still, even though we had, I think, 4 returners, and the other 4 were new, and they did awesome. They rose up to it big time.
1, 2,